Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
It has been a few weeks now since the Bloodline disbanded. Ever since Paul Heyman betrayed Roman Reigns, each member, specifically of the OG group, has gone their separate ways. However, could a real-life member reunite the faction despite the broken bonds? The answer to this question is no. After all, there is too much bad blood between Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman right now. That being said, real-life Bloodline member Naomi seems keen to at least hold a meeting between the members of the group, in an attempt to finally use her connections to her advantage. As of this writing, Naomi, who is married to Jimmy Uso, has been doing some exceptional work as a heel on SmackDown. Currently, she is embroiled in a feud with Jade Cargill, and from the looks of it, the rivalry is unlikely to end anytime soon. Nevertheless, the Glow seems keen to end this battle ASAP. As such, she took to X recently, where she tagged each and every member of the OG Bloodline, and even her father-in-law, Rikishi. She claimed that she is ready to use some of the nepotism that the WWE Universe says she has, and as such, has requested a meeting. Now, of course, Naomi is just playing her role as a heel perfectly. However, it is something to take note of. Perhaps she will officially join the group somewhere further down the line as its first female member. However, as of now, it is nothing more than speculation. The new Bloodline may be on the verge of a massive breakup. Speaking of the Bloodline, while the OGs have parted ways, the new group is still standing strong, at least for now. Led by Solo Sikoa, the group is still very much functional on SmackDown. However, this, too, may come to an end very soon. Right now, there is a lot of friction between Sikoa and his enforcer, Jacob Fatu. Since winning the United States Championship, the Samoan werewolf seems more and more certain that he does not need his cousin's help. The Street Champion is noticing this too, and with that in mind, one cannot help but believe the group is on the verge of breaking up. Nowadays, it feels like it's just a matter of when and where. With Backlash 2025 just a day away, all eyes will be on Fatu as he defends his title in a fatal four-way. Will the breakup happen then? At this point, there is no telling, but the WWE Universe should keep themselves ready. The WWE Universe was still reeling from the unthinkable. Paul Heyman, the Wiseman, had betrayed Roman Reigns. After years of loyalty, after carrying the tribal chief's messages and guiding the Bloodline through historic domination, Heyman shocked the world at SummerSlam. In the closing moments of the Undisputed Universal Championship match, Heyman slid a steel chair into the ring, not to Reigns, but to Solo Sikoa. One devastating Samoan spike later, Reigns lay motionless, and Heyman stood beside a snarling Solo, declaring, "The island of relevancy belongs to a new chief now." The betrayal splintered what remained of the Bloodline. Jimmy and Jey Uso had long since gone their own ways. Jacob Fatu, once seen as the new enforcer, was torn between blood and ambition. And now, Solo, once silent and obedient, was being molded into something darker by the conniving mind of Heyman. Roman Reigns vanished. No tweets. No appearances. No answers. But silence never lasts forever. 2 weeks later, an Iga awakening in Samoa. Somewhere deep in American Samoa, an elder's fire burned brightly. Tucked in the heart of the Reigns family land, a figure stood facing the ocean, Joseph Fanene, known to close family as Toa Fanene, a real-life cousin of Roman Reigns and a man never before seen on WWE television. A former Greco-Roman wrestling champion and an enforcer within the Anoa'i lineage's private world, Toa had avoided the spotlight. But with the family in disarray and Heyman sowing chaos among the younger generation, the elders had called him. He was blood. He was power. And he was ready. At a traditional Samoan family meeting under a starlit sky, elders sat in a circle. Women wept. Warriors of the family held torches. "Roman's silence is not weakness," said Ifa, the old wild Samoan. "But even a lion must know when to roar." "Solo walks blind," added Sika. "But Heyman knows how to poison minds." Toa stepped forward. "Then it's time to take back what belongs to the family. Not through games, not through tricks. But through truth, and strength." WWE SmackDown, 1 month after Heyman's betrayal. Paul Heyman stood in the center of the ring, clutching a mic, Solo Sikoa behind him with the Undisputed Championship draped over his shoulder. The crowd rained boos as Heyman smiled, smug and safe behind his new monster. The tribal chief has been dethroned. Not by betrayal, but by evolution. Solo Sikoa is not the future. He is the now. Suddenly, The arena lights dimmed. A tribal drumbeat echoed through the arena. Not Roman's music. Something different. More primal. More ancient. On the Titantron, a montage played of Samoan warriors training, their hands wrapped in rope, their faces painted in ancestral war patterns. And then came the image, Toa Fanene, arms crossed, eyes burning with purpose. Michael Cole gasped on commentary, That's Toa Fanene. He's a real-life cousin of Roman Reigns, he's never been in WWE before." The lights flashed back on. Toa stood at the top of the ramp, wrapped in a black lava, tribal war paint across his chest and arms. He didn't run. He didn't pose. He walked, like a mountain with purpose, his eyes locked on Heyman. Solo stepped forward, ready to fight. But Toa just pointed at Heyman. "You forgot who built this island." The crowd erupted. Backstage reactions and realignments. Over the next few weeks, WWE cameras followed the escalating war. Toa began calling out not just Heyman, but every member of the bloodline who had lost their way. Jey Uso, now solo on Raw, watched with visible conflict. Jimmy, recovering from injuries, was seen shaking hands with Toa at a family gathering segment. Even Jacob Fatu, still under Heyman's sway, appeared torn after Toa saved him from a steel chair beatdown from Solo when Heyman screamed for more dominance. But most telling of all, Roman Reigns still hadn't returned. Until Survivor Series. Survivor Series, Blood War. The match was billed as Blood War, Team Heyman vs Team Legacy. Heyman's side, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tangaloa. Toa's team, himself, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and an empty spot. As the match began, fans speculated endlessly about the final mystery partner. As chaos broke out in the ring, it seemed Toa's team would be outnumbered. Then the arena turned black. A single torch appeared on the stage. Then another. A full ceremonial fire was lit as a deep chant began. And through the smoke, Roman Reigns returned. Wearing a full black Samoan battle cloak, his chest bare, a thick blood red lay around his neck. His face told the story: betrayal, fury, and resolve. The pop was deafening. Reigns marched to the ring with purpose, speared Jacob Fatu in one motion, and stared straight into Solo's soul. The match erupted into a tribal war, with every move delivered not just for victory, but for legacy. Roman eventually faced Solo one-on-one in the ring center. No chair. No tricks. Just fists. Reigns delivered a thunderous Superman punch and followed it with a final spear. Toa covered Solo for the win, but Roman didn't celebrate. He just stared at Heyman, who scrambled backward up the ramp, terrified. Aftermath, a new bloodline. On SmackDown the following week, Roman stood in the ring with Toa, Jey, Jimmy, and even Jacob Fatu, now seemingly repentant. Roman addressed the WWE Universe and his family. "This isn't about dominance anymore. This is about legacy. About blood. About not letting outsiders divide us. Heyman was never family. He used us. And I let him." He looked to Toa. "But this man reminded me who I am. Who we are. From now on, we fight for each other." Toa stepped forward. "This isn't Reigns' bloodline. This isn't Toa's. This is our people's. No more manipulation. No more shadows. Only truth." The segment ended with a new ceremonial gesture, Toa and Roman placing a lei on the Undisputed Championship together, symbolizing shared leadership. Epilogue: the island rebuilt. The bloodline had been reforged, not in deceit, but in fire. With Toa Fanene bringing the ancestral wisdom, and Roman Reigns returning as the humbled but proud chief, WWE now had a new dynasty at the helm. Paul Heyman had lost control, and in doing so, awakened something deeper, something real.